and welcome back onto the campus of Beverly High School, everyone. JJ Sylvia, joined alongside me is Mr. Cody Shalafil and Mr. Dom Laurenzano. Welcome to another installment of Beverly High School girls basketball here on BevCam Sportsnet. A really tough test today coming up for the Panthers, Cody and Dom. They're playing their third game in the last 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know that's hard for anyone to do. I'm wondering how many people in high school even have experience with this situation. This is another one of those unprecedented COVID kind of times that you're going to have a situation like this where you're going to ask this team to play 3 times in 3 days. So I'm looking to see if the fatigue is going to be a factor in this game. I'm sure it'll be a factor later on. And I wonder just how heavy the rotation is going to be by Stanchel in order to deal with the fact that these girls have had to play so many minutes in such a short amount of time.
Beverly comes into this game with a record of 3-7. On the other side for Peabody, the Tanners are 7-2, and Cody, they have been a really, really strong program over the last few years, starting to really establish themselves as a powerhouse in the Northeast Conference.
Yeah, other than last game where they had a bad loss to Masco, they were 7-1 coming into that game, now 7-2. If we see anything like they were in the JV game we just called, they're going to be dominant inside. They're going to be a very technical team, and they're going to be one of the top teams. So it's going to be a really tough team for Beverly, like you said.
We're just about to get started. The coin toss has already happened. Coin tosses, because of the new COVID rule changes, are replacing tip-offs, so the winner of the coin toss will start with the ball. Other rule changes this season, I should say, due to COVID, no halftime, of course, and time between quarters has been extended a little bit longer now, 2 minutes and 30 seconds with timeouts going for 1 minute and 15. One last rule change also, free throw lanes are usually limited to either no players on the first shot and then up to 4 on the second. Really big test here for the Panthers as they head towards the end of the season. One of the last home games, one of the last opportunities for them to perform in front of a home crowd. Cody, we have a couple of prolific scorers on the Beverly side. Who do you think needs to step up the most tonight to really make this a kind of upset victory for the Panthers?
Yeah, like you said, prolific scorers. They have 3 players within the top 20 on the NEC. I'm looking at Sydney Anderson. I think her three-point shot has come along in the coming days, as Don was mentioning to us. Sydney Anderson, number 1 on the team in three-pointers, number 3 in the league with 11. So if she can get hot from outside, that can help get some quick points.
Panthers going with a pretty familiar lineup. It's Anderson, Mazzoni, Hemsey, McCarthy, and Cauley.
Good aggressive take right off the bat by Sydney. I like that.
Rebound skips out to Alamonte, and now back in the other direction come the Tanners. Peabody trying to set up, and a little bit of a botched pass goes out of bounds, and will give the ball back to White early on.
You know, Kylie always has the ball in her hands, and she's the point guard, so she's looking to do her thing, and Sydney has to have a big day. And I like Sydney right off the bat on the first possession, not afraid to take it to the hoop. And when Nikki Ericola, the sophomore, is in the game, she's got a real nice shot, and I'd like to see her be more willing to pull the trigger. She's not on the floor right now, though.
McCarthy throwing it off the foot of Emma Bloom. It'll stay Beverly ball. 0-0 as we're just getting started here at the field house. Referees just making sure that the scorekeeper's table is up to date. And the inbound goes into Anderson. Anderson able to shake off a double team, and now the Tanners go back into man-to-man. McCarthy hands off to Anderson.
They're looking for Anderson trying to get going. Number 2 on the team in scoring, but she can score just as well as McCarthy and anybody else.
McCarthy also double teamed. Great job early on by the Tanners of shutting down scorers. A deep 3 there from Anderson, misses just a bit wide in the rebound.
And you know, that's the importance of, like I said, when Ericola's in the game, I'd like to see her be more willing to pull the trigger, because, you know, these teams know that McCarthy and Sydney are really, you know, the main offensive punch of the of this Panthers team. And you see Peabody right away making sure that they're keying on them right away.
And they're going into a press, Peabody is, and already getting things going as they force the travel.
Lauren Mendica breaks the ice for the Tanners, and then some great press defense forces a turnover via the travel, and the Tanners will have a chance to tack on some more points here.
Interesting to see how Beverly would deal with that press. I don't think Beverly's seen a ton of just full court press like that so far this year.
Good ball movement here by the Tanners. Deep 2 taken by Bloom, and gets in. So a 4-point lead now for the Tanners.
Yeah, that's Emma Bloom. She's one of the main people to watch on this Tanner squad.
Another forced turnover. That's how effective this press is going to be.
Yeah, right away, right off the bat, we see the Panthers having some problems with this press by the Tanners.
So far, the Peabody Tanners, they've done a very good job with press defense, and that's a great way to disturb an offense like Beverly, who at times can be quite prolific. Ball movement around the perimeter here by Peabody as they try to set up an open shooter. Baseline drive and a kick back to almost the free throw line, and that one got blocked, and another shot will draw a foul. So first free throws for Peabody.
Yeah, Lauren Mendonca so far in this one, 2 points, a rebound, an assist, a block, and she's going to the free throw line right now. So she's been really, really good so far to open up.
Mendonca looking to add to her total. First one is up and good. A straight swish for Lauren Mendonca, and she'll look to complete 2 of 2. She will do just that, and that extends the Peabody lead to 6-0 early on. Press still coming on very hard by Peabody, but this time Beverly able to break through. Pass up ahead for Hemsey, and she dumps it off to Mazzoni.
Good job.
Now for McCarthy driving in, and she'll draw the foul on the way up.
Good job there by the Panthers to break the press and then keep the pressure on as soon as they get into the half court.
Yeah, like you said, they keep the pressure on after the half court. A lot of teams, once their half court or their press gets broken, they kind of sag in. They kept attacking right there. That's a really good job there by the defense.
And, if they can consistently do that, it is one way to usually either stop the team from, in their press, or at least make them lessen how many people they're committing to it up front.
Exactly.
Good job by Kylie to cash in there for the first points of the game.
Kylie McCarthy gets Beverly on the board. And she will continue that trend, give her both free throws, and the lead down to 4 for Peabody. Just getting started here.
Leading scorer for the Panthers. She had 13 points against Danvers in their last game in that 37-29 win.
Once again, the Tanners trying to spread the perimeter. Kick up top, and a 3 is off the front rim by Betancourt. Back in the other direction comes McCarthy, and she gives over to the far side for a 3 by Anderson that gets the lucky bounce.
Sydney, a bit of a line drive that time, rattled around, but it did go in.
Peabody trying to answer fast, and a long pass over the head will give the ball back to Beverly with a chance to at least even the score, if not take the lead.
Yeah, she was looking for Karopoulos down low, but that pass far too high for Amber.
Press defense still in effect for Peabody. Beverly now at least able to get it across half court. Now Mazzoni, top of the key to McCarthy. She'll have the ball a lot tonight.
Nice
Hemsey
take by
driving
Sophie.
baseline, puts it up, and she was fouled on the floor.
Beautiful, beautiful take by Sophia. And the fact is this Panther team just does not have a lot of size. So if they want to get down, get those twos, layups, easy points like that, they just have to be aggressive and just taking it to the hoop. Because, I mean, Sophia works. She does great jobs getting rebound, but she's not someone who's just going to post up down there completely and be able to dominate. She just doesn't have that size.
Sophia Hemsey averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds a night. Some solid stats, actually.
Yeah. Kylie gets called on the travel there.
Yeah, that's already the second or third travel force by Peabody. They're just getting the hands on their ball.
And to Karopoulos, no.
Peabody off the offensive rebound, back up top for Alamonte. She comes up short on that 3, and it'll skip out of bounds back to Beverly ball. I do have to correct myself there. Hemsey is actually averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds a game. I was reading a column above. Back in the other direction come the Panthers. Anderson goes down low, and now a kick back up top, McCarthy. Now Beverly spreading the ball. Anderson gets an opening space, takes the 3.
Not that time for Anderson.
Off the back rim, no good.
And what I've noticed from Peabody, they're bringing someone off. It looks like Karopoulos so far, they're bringing her off to double, and then she's coming back and filling in, and she's doing a good job at finding her man again after the double. So they're trying to pressure the top scorers of Beverly very early and making someone else beat them.
Yep.
Emma Bloom fouled on the way up, and she'll get 2.
Yeah, and that's the smart way to play it. And, you know, anyone, I think, who puts the time in and watches the film has been doing that on the Panthers. And even if they don't start off doing it in the first quarter, but by the time they hit the second quarter, they usually do it. And that's been sort of why the Panthers a lot of times sort of go through the doldrums in the second and sometimes third quarters.
2 for 2 at the line for Emma Bloom that time around. Beverly looking to answer, down by 3.
Someone's got to come to the ball. There we go.
Great press defense by Peabody. Anderson across half court. Will hesitate, and now McCarthy looking for a slash, doesn't see it and hesitates. Mazzoni is trapped and kicks out Anderson. Anderson also well guarded. Beverly continuing to move the ball. Baseline drive. McCarthy kicks out Anderson for 3. She got it.
That was beautiful, beautiful work there by them. It was tough defense. They finally got it all the way over on the near side corner to Kylie, who drove to the lane and found Sydney wide open on the perimeter.
Multiple times, Beverly's offense went deep into that shot clock and got a good shot off. So that's a good sign for your offense to stay in it.
Now a given side for Kira Coppels, but she was unable to finish under the rim. Looks like there was actually a foul called, was it not, Cody?
No, travel.
A travel. So going back to Beverly ball.
Yep, they were trying to pound it down inside with Karopoulos. And now Sophia bringing it all the way up and then finally gets the pass off. No.
Kirakopoulos goes up ahead for Lamanzi. Now back inside Kirakopoulos, and she'll step back out to the 3-point line. Good ball movement once again by Peabody as they try to find an open shooter. Driving as Betancourt puts it off the glass, no good. Back up top for a 3, and that one also misses.
Yep.
Another offensive rebound for Peabody. Tanner still at the ball, deep 2 taken there by Lamanzi is no good. Rebound to Anderson.
And finally, Anderson able to put an end to the second chance opportunities.
McCarthy goes to the corner. Hemsey driving in, puts it up and gets it to go.
Nice job by Hemsey. I like how aggressive the Panthers are being right now on offense. So far, everybody with the ball, they don't seem real shy about driving in the lane and creating their own shot.
That was a great job, a little stop shot right there in the beginning, in the top of the lane. Good job by Hemsey to get that bucket to roll.
Just a hair under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Panthers up by 2, and now they'll have the ball back again after that interception. Kick to the corner, Anderson for 3. That one
Not that time.
misses as well.
Not that time for Sydney. She's knocked down 2 of them so far, though. Just 1, actually, so far.
A whistle, looking like a foul on Peabody. So Beverly will get the ball back. Peabody, over the last couple possessions, Dom and Cody, they've been, struggling to, not get any whistles called.
Yeah, right now Peabody having sort of their own doldrums a little bit on offense, just miscues.
Yeah, it's a little bit over-aggressive, and I think you can get that as a team. And you like being aggressive, but a little over-aggressive. That's a great block by Mendonca.
McCarthy was driving, but she was ready for it. Back in the other direction.
Oh, I think that's
Comes
Sydney right
Peabody.
there.
That one got
on
blocked as well. A bit of deja vu, and Beverly ball it will be.
Great defense there by Anderson.
Yeah, she really went vertical with it, caught the ball, tightened the ball, and that was a fantastic block there by Anderson.
McCarthy across half court.
Out to Hemsey. McCarthy
Opening.
on a 3 this time. No.
Rebound taken by Betancourt up the floor. She comes. Peabody trying to work the baseline, and a foul is...
That's not quite Kylie's game to the same degree. It's Sydney's game, but she's gotten better at that outside shooting, and it's nice to do it just to keep them honest.
Yes.
Because so far, every time it's just been about, let me put my foot in the ground and drive to the basket. So nice job there.
Tanner's trying to answer inside for Kara Coppels, and she traveled. So the ball will go back to the Panthers once again. Beverly's been benefiting from a lot of whistles early on.
Yeah, and you know, Peabody's trying to pound the ball low with Karopoulos, and so far, Beverly doing a great job of defending it. Oh,
And
nice move.
Anderson with the finish.
Nice.
Largest lead for Beverly now, 12-8.
And Sydney sometimes can have some problems lately get going offensively because teams key on her, and it's nice to see she's off to such a good start right now.
Under half a minute to go in this first quarter.
She's got 8 of their 12 points, actually.
Bloom baseline drive, can't get it to go. Rebound corralled. And the Panthers on the move. McCarthy goes down low, driving in is Hemsey. She can't get it to go. Panthers still trying to put some points on. Hemsey at the buzzer, no good, and that will conclude this first quarter. A pretty evenly matched quarter between these two Northeastern Conference foes, wouldn't you say, Cody and Dom?
Yeah, I mean, so far, we figured Peabody come in by record, they're the better team, but you know, Beverly staying good. One thing I've noticed on the Tanner side, Madonka is kind of doing a little bit of everything. 4 points, 5 rebounds, assists, 2 blocks. She's been everywhere. She's really put herself on this game, and she so far has been the best player. Kara Coppels, like you said, she's been doing well too. A couple travels on her end offensively, but 3 rebounds, and also number 21 Emma Bloom has 4 points as well.
Yeah, and, you know, talking about this matchup and stuff, Peabody clearly is, you know, has been the better team most of the season and all that. But it's hard to get too caught up on the record with the Panthers a little bit sometimes because they played Masconomic 3 times.
Exactly, yeah. And
Masconomic is clearly the top team in the conference. They've beaten Peabody already, too. I believe, I think they've actually dispatched the Peabody twice, but I'm not sure. Our producer will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he said that even Peabody had to play Masco multiple times as well. So that's something. All right. Well, I guess Peabody's only one time. It was Marblehead who actually had to play.
And that was a 30-point loss for Peabody against Masco.
Yeah,
62-31.
Masco was just so good in this conference. So, but
So-
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far for the Panthers. But this is the way that things have gone. They've usually gotten off to a decent start in the first quarter, especially offensively, and then the second quarter especially has been where they get real ice cold offensively. So they got to try and change that a little bit. But it was a great start. Sydney Anderson put up 8 points in that first quarter. Kylie with 2, Hemsey with 2 as well.
Just about to start the second quarter here. Beverly up by 4, 12-8. Sydney Anderson doing a majority of the scoring so far. She hit a big 3 a few minutes ago. As we're underway here in the second quarter. Over to the near side for a deep 2 taken by Lamonzi is no good. Back in the other direction come the Panthers.
Now, Oliveri into the game right now. She's the one who came up with that rebound. Kylie drives, no.
Back in the other direction comes Peabody. Now to the far side for another 2, and this time Lamonzi hits it. Beverly's lead shrinks back down to 2. Up into the front court for Anderson, and she misses on that short 2.
Yeah, Sydney just kind of hesitated that time.
Ball moved into the corner on the near side for Aracola.
And, you know, Nikki, a prolific 3-point shooter in her own right, just a sophomore.
McCarthy comes off the front rim, unable to get that 3 to go. And Peabody will corral the rebound.
I'd like to see Nikki next time, you know, put the ball on the floor a little bit, though, and see if she can do anything to try and create her own shot.
To the near side for Isabel Betancourt. Betancourt tries to slice back inside, puts it up. No good, and the rebound is corralled over a double team. And Oliveri is going to draw a foul.
Yeah, she's been active on the board so far now. Oliveri, she has been really, really good. Very scrappy, gets in there and draws the jump ball off the rebound over 2 defenders, like you said.
Panthers to inbound. Ball into the hands of Kylie McCarthy. Cross half court, she moves. McCarthy trying to go around to screen. Still well guarded, has to give way for Aracola. Panthers trying to muster another bucket here. would be first one.
Oh, nice move by Sydney, but just a little too strong on the shot that time.
Peabody, another fast break opportunity. Good defense this time by the Panthers to keep it slowed down. A whistle and a travel. Looks like it's going to go against Abigail Betancourt, and the ball will go back to Beverly again. I believe, if I'm counting correctly, that's the 5th travel called on Peabody in this first half.
Yeah, it's been a number of travels on the Tanners right now, and it's a mix of things. I don't even know quite what happened that time. A couple of times it's been Amber down low who, you know, either she's jumping up to take her shot and then doesn't like what she sees or whatever. But yeah, the Panthers are doing a good job disrupting things on offense.
Anderson has her driving layup blocked, and it seems as though she stepped out of bounds once she corralled it back. So the ball will go back to the Tanners.
And that's Mendonca again with another block. That's 3 for her so far. Again, just putting herself all over this game.
Beverly still clinging to a 2-point lead early in the second quarter here at the high school field house. Peabody trying to run more of a handoff offense now, still moving the ball well despite Beverly stiffening up on defense. Still great defense by the Panthers, and it pays off McCarthy to grab that missed shot and she'll move quickly back in the other direction. McCarthy off a screen, goes off the backboard, doesn't get it to go. Rebound skips out to Aracola, and she takes a shot. That one misses as well. Finally, Peabody able to get the rebound, but it is stolen back quickly by Nikki Aracola, who has been putting in every ounce of effort as possible here in this first half.
Yeah, she's all over the place right now. She got herself a nice look on a shot, too. I'm glad she took it right away, didn't hesitate, and then great job on defense getting in front of that pass.
Aracola with the ball in her hands again, has a little bit of space between her and her defender. I'm surprised she didn't try to pull up. Now McCarthy. For Anderson, 4 on the shot clock. She doesn't have much time. Anderson, step back 3. That one misses wide. Rebound corralled. But it was a shot clock violation. Didn't touch the rim. Ball going back to Peabody. But not before a number of substitutes come in for both squads. 2 for Peabody and 3 for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm seeing Bilotti, Coughlin in the game.
Beverly has been held scoreless so far in this second quarter.
Yeah, and you know, the bugaboo so far continuing that second quarter.
Nice move there as Bloom tried to give herself some space, and she misses, looking like someone stepped out of bounds, and Beverly will get the ball back again. A lot of miscues, Dom, so far in this game for Peabody on the offensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tanners really have had a ton of miscues, balls going out of bounds, you know, a lot of travel. So Panthers staying right in just everybody's shirt right now, just making it real difficult.
Anderson into the corner, long 2 by Coughlin is good. Actually, she did get her feet behind the line, so that's a 3. 15-10 now in favor of the Panthers.
That's a 5-second, I believe, they just called there, or a timeout, excuse me.
Yeah.
But that press is really giving both teams issues, especially the first quarter. Peabody was giving Beverly issues. Now in the second quarter, Beverly's returned that favor.
So far in this game, as we take our first time out here, 15-10 in favor of the Beverly Panthers here at home. Cody, what have you seen from Beverly so far that has helped them have such a lead over a higher-ranked Peabody team?
Well, I think it's the shot clock, and they've gotten a lot of possessions deep in the shot clock. How you limit other teams from scoring is give them fewer possessions. If you're sitting here jacking up threes and quick shots, 5-10 seconds of the shot clock, that just gives Peabody and your opponent just way more time and way more opportunities to score. If you're taking these jump shots, 7 seconds left in the shot clock, that's wasting a lot of time and just giving your defense a second into the game.
Yeah.
And Dom, if you're head coach Stan McKean for Peabody, what are you saying in the huddle right now to try and get your team back into this game down by 5 early to a team that you were expecting to come in and play pretty well against?
I mean, I think the first thing is we got to talk about how we're going to deal with the press now, since they're starting to press them. The second thing is, you know, tangibly, other than like X's and O's wise, I don't know if there's much you can say, because it seems like just a matter of let's take a deep breath, let's slow down. I mean, you see all these travels, that's usually it. You know, you're playing a little bit too fast. You're playing out of yourself a little bit. I think you just stay with the process and trust the points are going to come.
Battle underneath the basket, looking like it will stay Peabody ball after a miss.
6-19 in favor of the history of the game history of 2007. 6-19 is Beverly's record versus Peabody. So Peabody has gotten the most of Beverly in the short term.
Mia Bellotti, or my apologies, actually Abigail Betancourt taking that baseline that was wide open and finishing, bringing the Beverly lead back down to 3. A missed three-pointer by McCarthy will give Peabody yet another opportunity.
And that's the exact opposite of what Beverly did well. That is a shot early in the game clock he didn't need to take. I mean, you could swing that ball around 2 or 3 more times to get the same shot, just a better look.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kylie might have rushed that one as well.
You know, only 3 points so far, and you see that you look up there 3 points in this. Both teams only scored 1 or 2 times since we've gotten to that second quarter.
Anderson with another 3, and that'll help pad the Beverly lead just a bit. Now 18-12, a 6-point lead for the Panthers.
Sydney's looking like she's been working with her sister Haley, by the way. She's knocking down threes tonight, doing a great job.
There's a charge, and it was drawn by Sydney Anderson. Cody, you and I have been broadcasting together for quite a few years. Tell me what that charge means.
That's a momentum shift. I mean, the charge does so many things, especially you're in a game and Beverly has the lead. That just gives them all the more momentum. It's a deflating foul for the Tanners, you know, and then you get that charge called on you. You're reluctant to go back into that paint again like that. So that's a huge play. It's understated, but it is a really big play in my mind.
And if Coach Tom Donovan was here, he'd be giving Sydney Anderson a Tommy point for that.
Yes. Kara Copels gets on the board for the first time tonight. 2 points, 5 boards, an assist and a steal for her. So she's also had her hand on the stat sheet tonight.
How many points?
2 for her.
That's it? Okay.
Anderson, another 3. That one just barely misses.
Yeah, not that time for Sydney.
A fight for the rebound, and it's looking like it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow is with Peabody. .207 remaining here in the first half. 18-14 in favor of the Beverly Panthers here at home. A surprising start for the Panthers is coming in at 3-7 compared to the 7-2 squad that they're facing in Peabody.
Yep.
Bit of a shock.
That McCarthy, oh man, I couldn't believe she was able to track that down. I thought for sure it was going to go out of bounds.
Great effort there by McCarthy and great hand-eye coordination to keep herself in bounds. McCarthy driving pretty much end to end, just barely unable to get it to go. Back in the other direction quickly are the Tanners.
Yeah, that was a smart decision by Kylie to drive then, because you have Madonko has 3 blocks already. While Kylie got the ball at the 3-point line, Madonko was looking around trying to find her man, meaning Kylie could drive and wouldn't have to worry about the shot block threat.
Mm-hmm.
Another block for Sydney Anderson, and in the process of doing so, she gets the ball back for the Panthers, and right now they're continuing to build on a lead that has been there since the end of the first quarter. McCarthy, top of the arc, is unable to get it to go, just a bit short.
I don't know if somebody got a hand on that one or not. It kind of looked like somebody got a hand up on that one.
But that's 2 or 3 shots by McCarthy where she's taking a 3 very early in the shot clock. When
yeah.
It's proven that when she drives, that really helps the offense out a lot more.
Yeah, you know, I like Kylie taking that shot here and there just to keep everybody honest. But yeah, that's not her best part of her game. So you never want to get too far into that.
Right.
Great steal there for Ruggieri. Let's see if they help her out. No, jump ball is going to be with Peabody.
Yeah, Kylie's at her best when she's obviously running the offense, but also when she's quick driving in the lane and either going for the layups or kicking it out to some of the shooters.
Right, and like you said, if she does every once in a while, that's awesome. But when you do it 3 times in 5 possessions, that's not exactly the shot you want at that situation. You can get a much better shot later in the clock.
Yeah.
Another 3 coming up just short for the Tanners. This time it was taken by Terrazzano.
And, you know, I think Peabody's getting away from trying to pound the ball down low with, like, Karopoulos or some of these other people. And that seems like, you know, maybe a little bit of panic or something like that, or frustration. But Peabody's got to get back to that.
Anderson once again tries that left-handed floater off the backboard, and a second consecutive miss up top. McCarthy driving up the backboard. That one just barely missing, so 2 missed shots. Back in the other direction come the Tanners, driving inside, looking for a foul call. Doesn't really get one, and Beverly will get the ball back again. So really in this first half, Dom, it's been the story of turnovers for Peabody, which looking at the record 7-2, you wouldn't expect to see a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, you know, they're just kind of misfiring a little bit on offense. And now I think they're starting to get away with what I would probably think is more their bread and butter, just maybe out of frustration, maybe out of just a need to feel like they need to change it up. I don't know. But I would think that once they get the time to talk, they're gonna address that and try and pound things down low with Amber again.
Half-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Putting it up is Beverly, and she misses wide. No good to conclude this first half of play. Cody, Beverly has been known to struggle a little bit in the second quarter, but this time around, despite not being completely red hot on offense, they were still able to step it up on the defensive end, and that is why they are leading still here in this first half.
The defense. I mean, the offense. You look at the game; they're still leading. They only scored 6 points in that second quarter.
That, yeah.
It's 8 or 6 points. But that like you said, that defense, I think they just been smothering Peabody so far. Only 4 scorers for Peabody. Kira Copels is one of their better players. Only has 2 points on the night. She's doing her thing on the rebounds. She's second in the NEC in total rebounds with 12 a game, and she has her 6 rebounds and everything. And like I said, I've spoken the praises of Madonka, but this defense by Beverly is very hounding. They're not letting them have any room, and the footwork's starting to get sloppy, and it's starting to get a little bit pressed. But Peabody, especially once they enforce that press, and that's getting a lot of things out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other end, Sydney Anderson doing the bulk of the offensive load for the Panthers, and that's the way it usually is anyway. I mean, she's other than Kylie, you know, the best offensive player on this team right now, and definitely the best three-point shooter on the team. She's hit a couple of those tonight. In total, she's got 11 points. She started off right away. I think it was the first possession. She took it right to the basket and got the layup. So Sydney's been aggressive all night. I love seeing that. Kylie, 2 points after that. Hemsey, 2, and Grace Coughlin off the bench nailed a 3. So Panthers are going to have to probably diversify the scoring a little bit, though, because you'd expect now with this time that Peabody is getting, they're going to find a way to try and slow down Sydney a little bit, whether it's, you know, double team right away, box and one, something like that. So someone else is going to have to step up and do a little bit more of the offense for the Panthers if they want to maintain this lead.
A big test coming up here in this second half as the Panthers try to come out with a win in their 3rd game in 3 days. Dom, I have to ask you, who do you think is more to blame for the score we see right now? Is it how well Beverly has played overall, or is it the mistakes that Peabody has been making consistently since the beginning of the game?
You know, I'd like to give Beverly credit
all
the way. They're playing really good defense, but I will say this. It's been a lot of unforced errors also by the Tanners as well. It's been a lot of travels, and then I think they got I'll give the Panthers credit for this, especially in the second quarter. The way things have gone and the way that they've stayed up on their defense has now made Peabody, I think, change its game offensively. So I'll give them all the credit in the world for that part of it, because they're frustrating them to the point that they changed what they were trying to do originally.
Right.
But I'd say the early struggles 100% on just miscues by the Tanners.
Right.
A solid start to the game for the hometown Panthers as they look to defend home court and grab a big victory against one of the top-ranked teams in their conference in Peabody. As we're about to get started here in the second half with the ball touching the hands of McCarthy, we are underway.
Here's the other thing now in the second half, though. You got to keep a lot of these players in. I mean, the Panthers don't go too deep as far as, especially scoring-wise. But 3 games in 3 days, we'll start to see right now if any of this, if the fatigue starts to play a factor right now.
Yeah, like we said, conditioning is something that's going to be interesting, especially with, you know, the pandemic going on. Practices are limited. You have to wear the mask. You're not exactly getting you're not exactly getting what you want instead of like physically in shape in that ways, and especially with 3 games, that's a 3-pointer for Peabody there.
They call it a 2, actually.
Last couple of games for the Panthers, while they were not being featured on BevCam Sportsnet, a loss to Peabody by a final score of 27-21, a very low-scoring defensive battle in that one, and then just yesterday, a win over Danvers, a 37-29 victory. So, you know, a split in those last 2 games for the girls, but nonetheless, they're back here and playing some pretty good basketball this evening here at home.
And like Dom said, I mean, the record of Beverly doesn't really show because of the Masco games. And you look, a team on paper, this game looks like this should be easy Peabody, but the last time they played, it was a big defensive matchup like it is right now, and it was a close game.
Yeah.
McCarthy at the buzzer, gets it to go.
Kylie McCarthy, as the shot clock was expiring, drains a 3. 5 points on the day for her.
And those are the shots, if Beverly does hang on and win this one, those are the shots we're going to look back and say that was the difference. because those shots late in that shot clock, like I mentioned, taking possessions away and giving you points, especially when Kylie hasn't hit a three-pointer in that early shot clock, wait for things to develop and then get a three right there, that's awesome.
Last game for the Peabody Tanners, a loss to a absolute powerhouse of a program in Masconomet. Final score 61-32.
Yeah, Masco's pretty much run through everybody in the NEC. Yeah.
Good battle for the ball. Let's see who the foul is on. It's going to be on Peabody, and it'll be Kira Copples who draws it.
And
Beverly still with the lead.
And Peabody also is one of those 3-for-3, 3 games in a row, schedules as well. They did everything. So the fatigue, we should be looking at them as well, and it looks like they've affected them just a little bit more.
McCarthy again. Not this time, though.
McCarthy with a heat check shot there. Couldn't get it to go. Back in the other direction quickly. Peabody trying to move and stretch the floor.
I think she missed her teammate actually earlier on in that possession who was open originally, but she never head up. She just didn't see it. A little bit of a break there for the Panthers.
Ball skipping out of bounds, and it will go back to white ball. 6:17 still remaining here in the third quarter. Now across half court is McCarthy. McCarthy giving way for Mazzoni. Beverly trying to move the ball.
By the way, on that last foul by McCarthy, there's been very few fouls so far actually in this game today.
It's been a fairly clean matchup. Not too many trips to the free throw line on either side, but the turnovers have been aplenty. And there's another one right there.
I was about to say, this goes with it again. Just kind of another unforced miscue of an error on Peabody. I mean, that's classic fast break. That's wide open. There's 2-on-1. You got to pass it. She does, but just sort of the pass just kicks off her teammate's foot. And, just a lot of missed opportunities for Peabody.
At the end of the day, when you have two teams, Cody, that are playing each other really well and kind of neck and neck, it comes down to execution. And right now, it seems the Panthers are really executing better than Peabody.
When we did the JV game before this one, it was the free throws, and those were those unforced errors. Right now, it's the turnovers for Peabody, and that's the difference in this game. They turn the ball over 3 less times. They probably score on those possessions, and they're up right now. But that's just not the case right now. They have kind of been stepping on their own feet.
Tanner's trying to answer a wide shot there by Betancourt from the top of the arc for 3. She can't get that one to get in.
Again, that was another one. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's not her game, but that was something it's so open that maybe you overthink it, and she really kind of pulled the string there on that shot.
Neither team has scored that much in the past few minutes. Beverly looking to break that trend. Anderson, who already has a couple of three-pointers, driving, tries to put it up with the right hand, didn't quite put enough on it. Looking like the ball will go back to the Tanners, and it will.
Panthers continuing with this press. That one time it's broken pretty easily.
Kicked into the corner for Lamanzi, and she's unable to put it in. Looking like a jump ball is being called. Possession arrow favors the Tanners.
Yeah, and we were talking about those unforced errors. That press is helping a lot of those unforced errors. It's forcing you to go faster. So especially the team that's and you have that fast break, which is making you go faster, especially with those errors. Boom, like that just adds more to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Emma Bloom trying to work in her wheelhouse in the paint, but can't get it to go. Anderson to handle the ball. Nice crossover. Kicks into the corner. Hemsey and now McCarthy. McCarthy slashing, tries to put it up, and she's fouled on the way up.
Nice. McCarthy will go to the line again.
Dom, great job of body control so far in this game by McCarthy. When she's driving, she's able to draw a foul pretty much at ease.
Yeah, she is, and that's the best part of her game. She's got great quickness, great body control, as you mentioned. She really is, we talked about it in the other game, a slashing kind of guard.
Yes.
First free throw is up and through for McCarthy. Extends the Beverly lead to 6. And McCarthy.
McCarthy good on both.
She drains them both.
I like to see this, you know, the two top scorers for this team going back and forth. Sydney 11 points in the first half, and now McCarthy picking up here with 5 points. She had just 2 points in the first half, but she's had a quick 5 now.
Trying to respond is Peabody. They have not scored in the past 2 or 3 minutes, I believe. Moved inside for Bloom. Now back into the corner for a long 2 that is taken and made by Betancourt. So Abigail Betancourt getting on the board. And now a 3 here is banked in. A great shot by Anderson, and that's her 3rd tray of the night. She is pretty darn scorching right now from downtown, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, this lead has swelled up to about 8, and you could see there's a little hitch in that shot. She wasn't quite sure, but when you're on, you're on. You can put it up there. It looks like it hits.
And, you know, the doldrums hit them a little bit in the second quarter, but they're doing a better job of breaking it here in the third quarter. Another nice 3 by Sydney. It's great to see that she's getting her shots, being nice and aggressive on taking it when they're there.
Just about halfway through this third quarter as that first free throw is up and good from Abby Betancourt.
She's the leading scorer so far with 7 points on the Peabody side.
Funny thing is about Betancourt, leading scorer for Peabody, but also the youngest player on this squad.
Ooh,
and a rebound put back up and in, and 1 for Logan Lamanzi, and she'll go to the line trying to complete the 3-point play.
And Lamanzi is another one who's actually a freshman as well. So there's some young people on this team.
Yeah, and Lamanzi, number 15th in the NEC with 5.7 boards a game, and right there, great job. The swim move around on the free throw, and then the scoop layup to get her the and 1. Can't convert.
You know, even though she can't, oh no, and a travel going to give the Tanners the ball right back. And by the way, dude, I mean, with the way that Beverly got really hot, they were starting to pull away a little bit. This is exactly what Peabody needed to sort of slow this tempo down, slow the momentum down, and get themselves back into the game.
Betancourt trying to drive baseline, had nowhere to go, dumps it off, and a finish right in front of the rim by Lamanzi.
The freshman taking over right now for the Tanners when they need it most. Now it's a 3-point game.
Anderson double teamed, goes end to end, just unable to finish. Ball will stay with Beverly.
And she had a player right there. If she just passed it off, that's an easy 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, it was still a pretty good look. And when you're, you know, the leading scorer for the team, your mindset should be aggressive. So I do get it.
Just a hair above 3 minutes remaining here in the third. 26-23, Beverly's lead shrinking. Anderson, step back 3, no good. Beverly to corral the rebound, and now McCarthy driving, puts up a bit of a floater. That one doesn't go. Another rebound offensively for the Panthers. Another chance for them to score. A 3rd offensive rebound. That one is also put up and missed, and this time Peabody will settle it down and corral the rebound defensively.
Lucky for Peabody, because that's 3 or 4 chances, especially 2 super easy looks that were missed by Beverly right there.
And
so
Peabody got away with what might have been a foul there as MC got that ball. I like this by McCarthy to slow it down, though.
Right.
Trying to pass it inside there was Hemsey. She was looking to connect with Gannon, but it was picked off.
Yeah.
Good defense there by the Tanners.
Hemsey, a little too intent of trying to get that pass in there. Long 3, no.
Rebound corralled by the Panthers, and up ahead it goes to Anderson.
I mean, if you're Beverly, from everything I've seen from the Peabody so far, if they want to take that shot, you let them.
Now into the corner, McCarthy kicks out Anderson in the other corner. Anderson driving baseline, puts it up and misses.
That was a beautiful up fake by Sydney.
Anderson has her mask come off as she collides with Isabel Betancourt underneath the basket. And it looks like it will be Beverly ball still.
Unfortunate Sydney couldn't finish it off on that one, but beautiful up fake by Sydney to draw the defender and then drive inside.
And I think a lot of these offensive rebounds that we've seen Beverly getting, as they have 5 or 6 ramped up in the last couple of possessions, I think that is more of a fatigue thing for Peabody. They're just not boxing out, and they're not, you know, getting in position. They're just ball watching, and that has a lot to do with fatigue. So this could be that area.
Oh man, a 3.
Lindsey Gannon this time strikes from downtown, and Beverly continuing to add on the three-pointers, and a 6-point lead once again for the Panthers, as they've been hovering anywhere between a 6 to 8 point lead ever since they gained the lead in the first quarter. Loose ball in the middle of the court. Not sure who has it. Anderson comes out of the pile. Anderson goes up the floor, has some space, puts it up, no good. But she will head to the line.
Beautiful job. And I mean, wow, I don't usually like to say it like that or assume fatigue, but right now it seems like Beverly's just kind of outworking them a little bit.
A little bit.
Hard work pays off, and if anybody is proof of that right now, it's Sydney Anderson, and she's at the line for 2 free throws. Anderson unable to hit the first. Beverly lead stays at 6, 29 to 23.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips right now, by the way, right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's an indicator right there.
Sydney missed them both. That's not very unusual for Sydney.
Jump ball here, and possession arrow is with Peabody. So the Tanners get the benefit of that whistle, and now they will look to respond.
I don't like the call there just because even though Peabody did keep the ball, I thought Karakopoulos had it and was just moving around. I think, you know, obviously they're calling them a little bit faster now because of, you know, everything going on. But I think that could hurt down the line if there's a quick possession that they could have got again.
Yeah.
Due to that, that could come back and be a big
Boy, I
moment.
thought 14 stepped on the line, but they didn't see it.
McCarthy and a crowd of players was able to corral that rebound. She'll give and go with Anderson, and now McCarthy across half court. Anderson, top of the key, looking for an open shooter. Gannon pulls up right away, no good. Rebound is corralled off a few bounces by Isabel Betancourt. And now Betancourt will get the ball back and prance across half court.
Let's see how Peabody tries to play this.
Betancourt driving baseline, good job there, and she will get the finish off the glass.
Good move by Betancourt, and now under 10 seconds.
Last possession of the first quarter, ball in the hands of McCarthy. She drives, puts it up off the glass and in.
Beautiful, beautiful move by McCarthy.
And that will conclude this third quarter of play. These two conference rivals are neck and neck, Cody.
It's a great game. Like we said, I think the fatigue starting to come in, and this is the crunch time where we're going to see it a lot. But so far, Beverly's really done a good job creating the pace and setting it. And then on top of that, once you see that pace kind of slow back into Peabody's favor, that's when they stop and then reset and then regain that pace and dictate how this game's going.
Yeah, you talk about pace. I think on that last opportunity again, I think Kylie sort of lulled her defender to sleep a little bit and then went right at her and took her in for the nice look. And Kylie's done that a few times. She just hasn't usually been able to finish quite as well. But a great job that she finished there that time. And great job by Kylie in that third quarter as well, picking up where Sydney left off in the first half, where Sydney dropped 11 points. Kylie dropped 7 points in that third quarter. So the two leading scorers going back and forth on each other, and that's great to see. That's the way you want to play it, because we can't all be hot at the same time, but let's pick up where the other one left off when things start to wane a little bit.
Cody, I spoke with Dom about what Peabody's head coach Stan McKean might be saying in his huddle earlier on. What do you think this time around Seth Stanchel is saying to the girls as they head into this final quarter here?
I think keep doing what you're doing. I think they've been playing it pretty close to perfect as much as they can. I mean, they've had those moments where they've lulled a little bit, but they snap right out of it very quick. And especially at a high school level, that's hard for a lot of these high school players to know. And that pace is super, super important. And even in the college game and the pro game, it's hard to dictate pace. But right now, they're doing a fantastic job. Just keep it up. Want it more. I mean, they're playing really good defense, especially on that press. And offensively, they're setting the table for themselves, and that's what you got to do.
And, you know, this goes along with pace a little bit, but it's even its own thing. The Panthers are being very disciplined on offense.
Yes.
They're doing a good job of not worrying if they go deep into their possession. They're really looking for the best shots. Sydney, oh, my goodness, another good look for Sydney makes it count.
Anderson with that signature step back of hers. This time she uses it in the post, and it works to perfection. 33-25 in favor of the Panthers. Peabody trying to move the ball to an open shooter, but the Panthers are playing a very good defense right now, Cody.
And by the way, you know, this has been an exceptional game for both McCarthy and Sydney, but this is also still nothing new. And I'm very surprised to see that Peabody has done much to really counter it. They haven't gone to a box and one. They haven't put extra pressure or double team Sydney whenever she gets the ball. It's been odd to see because I think most teams have been doing that kind of stuff.
Sydney Anderson driving will draw. Well, she won't draw a foul on the way up, but it will go out of bounds and stay with Beverly.
I remember at the beginning of the first quarter, they were using Kara Kopels as that, that second defender, and she was wandering off her man and moving around very erratically and going into double teams and coming back, and she did a really good job at that, and they haven't done that since. I think that at that point, that's when Beverly hit their lull in that the second quarter. So if they go back to that, they could be able to do things like that.
McCarthy moves it up top for Colley, but she's called for a travel. Ball going back to Peabody with just over a minute gone here in this fourth and final quarter here at the Beverly High School Fieldhouse. Peabody has struggled to score, especially in the second half. Trying to move inside was Isabel Betancourt. And a whistle. Foul's going to be on Olivia Griffin. Ball staying with Peabody.
First time we've seen Griffin on the floor tonight. Early in this fourth quarter, I think he's trying to give some people a rest, with all the playing everyone's had to do. Look at all these second chance opportunities. Panthers come down with it, though.
Anderson across half court. It's been basically her and McCarthy doing those duties all night long. Driving is Griffin. She's met with sturdy defense. Now McCarthy slicing, and she banks it off the glass and in. The bank is open for Kylie McCarthy.
Even after 5 p.m., that's rare.
And a member of the Tanner squad steps out of bounds, and it will give Beverly the ball back. And Cody, over the past few minutes, the Panthers are starting to hit their stride. This is a bad thing if you're Peabody. Yeah,
I think this is where that fake tee comes in. Another unforced error there on the sideline, just going a little bit too fast. And they're just playing exactly how it's been. We've been saying what's been going wrong for both teams and right for both teams in the last few minutes and the last few quarters. Nothing's changed. There haven't been really much.
Good job by Sydney.
Yeah, haven't been many adjustments on either side. They've both just been playing the game. And as you see right here on the score, up to 10, that's easily the lead in the game.
Sydney Anderson swatting that pass away, almost like a cornerback on a football team. A great job there, great defense. Peabody still with the ball, though. Long shot taken by Bloom, misses.
Someone got a hand on that.
Anderson trying to keep it in bounds, and it will be out of bounds on her, staying with Peabody. 5:25 remaining, and a 10-point lead for the Panthers, 35-25. Dom, as we get into crunch time here, who do you think Stan McKean's going to be putting the ball in the hands of?
Well, it depends on just how much this lead stays. You would think it's got to be still Amber Karopoulos as she has the ball down low there. I would think historically Amber, but on the other side, on the flip side, Logan Lamancy, who's ready to check back in the game, has probably been the better scorer tonight, at least in the second half.
I'm going to throw my hat in that ring. I'm going to go Abigail Betancourt. Right now, Kara Kopels only has 2 points, and she scored that one basket. That was it. Right now, it's the team leads 7 for Betancourt. I would go there.
That was
tough choice.
It is.
Tough choice to make if you're Stan McKean, especially considering Betancourt is a freshman.
What do you go? Do you go with the history? Do you rely on your best? Even if they're having a bad game, do you still rely on that? Or do you roll with the hot hand no matter who it is? Right now, the hot hand suggestion would be Betancourt. She is leading the team in points and assists. So her with the ball in her hands are making plays happen. But then you also have to say, Karopoulos. Historically, she's probably your best player.
Boy, in a fight for the ball that time. Fouls on someone. I don't know who they called it on.
I love her aggressiveness. She has 11 rebounds so far tonight, one off of her season average, and she just keeps moving and keep going, just relentless. I love that in a basketball player, especially on the glass.
Yeah, and Hemsey really has that heart because, as I've said so many times, she's the big man for the for this Panthers team, but she's usually outsized by whoever she's guarding, whoever the opponent is, but she still grabs all those rebounds. And a blocking foul, I think, that time.
Yes, it was. And Beverly will get the benefit of this foul and will get the ball back Under 5 minutes to go. We're starting to creep towards crunch time here at the field house, and the Panthers are in control, 35-25.
And you know, since they got that 10-point lead, the Panthers have given Peabody some opportunities to get back into the game, but Peabody just keeps misfiring on offense.
Now Izzy Sullivan giving away for Hemsey. Hemsey trying to go back inside for Cauley, and it's picked off.
By
Another
Lamancy.
interception for Abigail Betancourt. Betancourt with the ball in her hands goes into the corner. Emma Bloom now back to Betancourt. Betancourt tries to throw it high off the glass. It misses. Rebound from McCarthy. McCarthy tries to skip it to Anderson, but it misses. Back to Bloom, top of the arc, and she drills it.
A big, big three there by Emma Bloom, a much-needed three for the Tanners.
And a timeout. Looks like Stan McKean was the one to call it. 3:58 remaining. Beverly's lead still decently substantial. Cody, what have you seen in this fourth quarter that is encouraging about this Peabody Tanner squad as they try to creep back into this one?
I think right now they're just hitting the shots and they're playing to within themselves. I think right now, you know, that three-pointer, that's the first three, I think, of the night for them, and they've locked into that, but they're just grinding. They're getting those offensive rebounds. They're getting those second-chance opportunities, and that's what's keeping them in this game right now.
And Dom, if you're the coach right now for Beverly, you mentioned already there's a lot of fatigue on both sides. What could you say to your girls to help them kind of manage that? What strategies could they use so that they can make it down this home stretch here and secure this home victory?
Well, I mean, you can play the mind thing with the fact that he's rotated a few people now. So if he's got to put somebody else in who's a starting, be like, well, you got your rest. Like, let's go. Let's get ready. And the other thing is, I mean, come on, Peabody just came in here at 7-2. You're 3-7. You got a chance to knock off one of the top teams in your conference, and you better get everything you have now with this 4 minutes to go. And I mean, after this, you get a break. It's not a fourth game in 4 days in a row. So this is it.
A much-needed break coming for both these squads. Beverly, however, would love to go into that break with a victory, especially a victory like this, where they've had control of the pace for about 60% of the game. Up top for McCarthy. Beverly with a couple of bench players in mixed with their everyday starters.
And I'll be honest, I don't think McCarthy and Sydney has like sat like once.
Anderson driving, draws the blocking foul. And it's going to be on Isabella Betancourt.
And it really is. To close out a game, you got to lead on your best players, Kylie and Sydney. But as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure they haven't taken one rest this whole game. I might be mistaken, but I don't know if they've come out at all.
If they were, it was for a minute or two. But, you know, that's high school. Like, high school, if you put me out there right now, oh, goodness. If I could give you 4 minutes in a row, you'd be a miracle. But back in high school, I could go for 3 hours if you needed me.
Yeah, with all these days in a row, this really is dig deep time. Not
Anderson off the front rim there. Rebound corralled by Peabody. Back in the other direction they come, and the layup there is just barely missed by Isabel Betancourt. Put back up and another miss. McCarthy will let that one trickle out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Beverly possession.
And that's Kira Copels. That's 12, so that's her season average right there.
Oh, no, goes off Mazzoni's hands. I think she stepped out. She did.
Mazzoni did step out after that bobble, and it will give the ball back to Peabody. So Beverly with a couple of turnovers in this quarter need to be careful, because if they start to follow that trend, they may see their lead slowly trickle away.
Yeah, I was about to say, those are the kind of mistakes that get so magnified in this last about 3 minutes of a basketball game. Uh-oh.
Corner shot there is good, and chipping are the Tanners.
That is a huge three.
Yeah, that's double digits there for Betancourt now.
McCarthy draws the foul as she was pressed by Abigail Betancourt.
And that's a 1-on-1 since.
And by the way, with this press, if you noticed, they're doing their very best to try and make sure the ball has to go in the hands of somebody else. They're trying to make sure it's not in the hands of McCarthy or it's not in the hands of Anderson. And on the inbounds before that, they made it work. They got the ball to Mazzoni instead. She misfired a little bit. And it went to Mazzoni again originally there, who was at least able to get the ball over to Kylie.
McCarthy makes the first. As I've mentioned already, the Panthers' lead has hovered anywhere between about 4 and 8 points. since the first quarter. McCarthy makes number 2 as well.
Kylie, huge, huge free throws.
Back to a 7-point lead for the Panthers. Peabody desperate for buckets at this point in the game. Layup put up by Lamanzi is no good, and Beverly will get the ball back as it trickles out of bounds and all the way towards those doors at the end of the track.
Very fortunate for the Panthers there. That was a nice move. She beat Colley badly, but could not finish. And then the ball goes out of bounds. And it was quite the scrum. I'll be honest, I have no idea what went off of either.
Could have gone either way. I mean, the referee has the best seat in the house.
Stanchel called the timeout, I believe.
One more timeout here as we are getting into crunch time now, 38-31. It's been a different second half. I mean, we saw in the first half a lot more offensive mistakes, and now we're seeing Peabody start to settle down a little bit more. You know, there's less of those turnovers, and we see that the score has gotten closer again. Cody, if Peabody is able to lessen the turnovers, do you think that there's a good chance that they'll be able to pull back into this?
I think barring those turnovers, the positions that they've had get into the half court, they've been good. I mean, they have 31 points. I mean, it's not like they are getting blown out right now. They're still in this game, and I think those turnovers do a lot. So if the possessions that they've had that don't result in turnovers normally end up in at least a good shot. So if they can limit that, then they can get a couple good shots, and this is a 3-possession game.
Nice job by Colley to know that some of that girl was coming from behind her.
Hemsey goes inside for Mazzoni. Mazzoni gets a nice lane, and she finishes at the basket.
Nice take by Mazzoni.
Angela Mazzoni adding to the Beverly lead now at 9, 40-31, as we are approaching the 2-minute mark of this game. Moved inside, and Lamanzi once again struggling in the post, and she's letting the referees hear it a bit, as it's been a frustrating night at points for Logan Lamanzi.
Yeah, there was a little contact there, but they let it go. By the way, on this press, you got to, get the ball out of Kylie's hands if you're Peabody, but they couldn't do it that time. Kylie got it.
Kylie McCarthy across half court.
Every time they inbounds it down there, though, with that press, Peabody has got to be focused on trying to make sure somebody else brings up the ball, whether it's Lauren, whether it's Mazzoni, whoever else isn't used to it right now, and that's the way you can get turnovers and get these extra possessions.
Lauren Colley, as Dom just mentioned, she was underneath the basket, kind of wide open, called for the ball and was just unable to handle the pass. So now Peabody with another chance to cut into the Beverly lead. A nice offensive rebound and put back, but just barely missed by Kira Copples. And a long shot is whistled off as...
I don't know if she took an elbow to the face or...
Yeah, that's a tough miss by Kira Copples. She had it right, just the bunny, and she just bricked it. That's tough, and that's...
Is that the, sort of the symbol of what this game has been a little bit for Peabody, though, at times? Yeah. Especially for Amber. She's had a tough night.
Great block. That's Sydney again.
Man, Sydney's playing in all facets right now.
Sydney Anderson, I believe, Dom, is that her third or fourth block of the game?
I don't know exactly. I think it's got to be at least 3, though.
Yeah,
and that's not usually her big game, but yeah, that's got to be at least 3, if not 4.
Now the Tanner is once again with an opportunity, driving in and one. Nice finish there by Logan Lamanzi, kind of redeeming herself for her last few minutes of struggle. And she'll head to the line to try and complete the 3-point play.
Man, I'm really loving what I'm seeing in this game, though, by Logan Lamanzi. You got to remember, she's just a freshman.
Yeah, no, and she's already performing at one of the higher rates, especially in rebounds, at 6 rebounds and 7 points right now.
All right, 6-point game.
A timeout called by Beverly and head coach Seth Stanchel.
Yeah, he could see there that they were in a little bit of trouble there on that inbounds.
A good timeout there, in my opinion, by Stanchel. Kind of gives Beverly a chance to regroup and kind of set up another idea of what they want to do in terms of getting the ball inbounded. And Cody, we're getting into the crunch time now, just a little bit over a minute and a half to go. Beverly, if you're in this situation, Cody, if I want to know what you think here, but I think that Beverly should try to just play clock killer a little bit.
it's a decent idea. I've always been on the thing is you play to win, not play to not lose. And I think with a 6-point lead, I don't think that's enough of a lead to try to kill clock. If this was a 12-point lead, probably. But right now, just keep trying to get good shots. You've been making them. You've been doing a good job getting to your spots. Keep doing that. If you can put in 1 or 2 more baskets before the minute mark and make this lead up to 8 or 10 and give yourself a little bit more of a chance, I don't think right now you're in a position to play clock throw.
All righty, just head coach.
I'll counter with that, though, a little bit. Here's the thing. When Beverly's had most of their success tonight offensively, it has been sort of clock killing anyway. So you do say just kind of run the offense that we have been tonight.
If you have a good shot, take it. And if it's 15 seconds or 7 seconds of the shot clock, I think you do that.
But in general, the best offensive so far for them has been clock killing in its own, just being patient. Good, you got the ball to the senior, Kylie here, the point guard, directing traffic in the offense. You want the ball in the hands of your seniors as most as possible right now.
Ball is stolen away, jump ball called, as rushing in to try and make that steal was Abigail Betancourt. She's been all over the floor tonight, Dom.
And this right here is where that early possession call in that second quarter is starting to haunt back. You have that Kira Copels gets that rebound, and it's a quick call, even though I think she had clear possession. Now this possession called here, and you have Beverly with the ball.
Yeah, they're resetting the shot clock to what it's supposed to be. But that's a great point with that quick one that you called before. Coming up huge now, because a minute 30, the Panthers just get the ball back. Ericola throws it off a Peabody player.
And I think
Sydney, actually.
I think she danced there too.
I think she might have too. I think she got away with it.
So that's another break there for Beverly, and they need those. Only up 6 points isn't. It's 2 possessions.
Yep. And again, get the ball in the hands of your seniors, the most experienced people right now.
Just a hair above a minute to go in this game. McCarthy with the ball in her hands, gets some space, dumps it down low, an opportunity for Colley, and she's unable to put it in. Back in the other direction comes Peabody. They're down by 6, and the clock is not on their side. Up top for a 3 by Betancourt is no good. Rebound is put back up and in by Lamanzi.
Logan Lamanzi huge down the stretch, and Kylie clearly fouled.
And she's going to go to the line for 1-1.
Kylie McCarthy will head to the line, and Dom, you talk about big free throws. These are 2 huge free throws.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked about you want the ball in your hands as seniors as much as possible, not just for points, also when they get to the free throw line, and also just for lack of mistakes. And when you can get the ball in the hands of Kylie, especially in a situation like this, this is the perfect part of it, because you feel more comfortable with McCarthy at the line than, someone who's a sophomore or a freshman or someone like that, or someone like even, Sophia is experienced, but that's not her game, is shooting at the free throw line and stuff like that, or even ball handling for that matter.
McCarthy misses, rebound is gathered, but a kick ball, and it will give the ball to Peabody.
That Peabody ball, 43 seconds.
43 seconds remaining, and a 4-point Beverly lead. Peabody needs a quick bucket here. Driving is Bloom. She'll kick back up top. Nowhere really to go. Back inside Bloom again into the corner for Lamanzi, and she misses. McCarthy the rebound, and she's waiting for a foul call. Nothing's coming, and then she's ambushed. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Beverly.
Yep.
If Bloom doesn't touch that ball, that's Peabody ball, because I think that went off of McCarthy, and she dribbled it right out of bounds. That's a tough break right there, because it's so hard to restrain yourself in that moment.
And they get the ball to Sydney.
I'd hold it. Yeah,
she's going to hold it.
Anderson gives it up as she's trying to hold it, and a timeout called once again by Seth Stanchel. 19.7 seconds remaining. Beverly leading by only 4 points, 40-36. And they have the ball, too, after this timeout. Cody, you're in this huddle right now as head coach Seth Stanchel. What are you doing? What's your plan?
You give it to the best free throw shooter, and you hold the ball. And then if they have to foul you, I think you hold the ball, you keep it away, you pivot around so they can't get a jump ball. That's what it is, just a free throw game right now. We've entered that part of the game, so you got to hit your free throw. So you give it to your best free throw shooter, clear out, get the ball away. They have to foul you.
And you're probably drawing something up as we speak, as we see him on the whiteboard right now. You're drawing something up to try and get the ball to whoever you choose that you want to get the ball.
It's less of,
because on this side, Peabody right now is like, can we keep the ball out of Sydney Anderson's hands or Kylie McCarthy's hands?
It's less of drawing up a play more than drawing someone up to get open, just for a clear passing run.
Yeah.
This is going to be big. We need a clear, you want to put one of your better passers here. And
Yep.
Final minutes,
Oh,
final
and
moments of this game, and a whistle against Beverly.
offensive foul on the illegal pick. That's
Wow.
huge.
Angela Mazzone was the one who did the bad deed there.
Yeah, Peabody just got a new lease on life right there.
Yeah, they really did. That is huge. What a massive break for the Tanners. New life
Great
swatted
block
by
there
Sydney.
by Anderson. And now the ball back into the hands of McCarthy. Again, she's fouled, and back to the line once again with another set of pivotal free throws will be Kylie McCarthy. But that doesn't happen, Dom, unless Sydney Anderson makes another vicious block on the defensive end.
Absolutely. And Sydney is just doing everything on all facets of the game. This has been a bunch of blocks for her tonight. That's not even usually her usual game. The points, the ball handling, the defense in general, everything.
First free throw up and good from Kylie McCarthy.
Smart to have all Beverly players back. There's your 6-point lead. I'm not going to say that's the dagger just yet, but that's really close.
Yeah.
6-point lead for the Panthers, 9 seconds left, and now 8. Clock still ticking, given inside for Lamanzi. She puts it up no good. She struggled in the post all night, and another whistle stops the clock with 4 seconds to go. Let's see what the referees have to call here. Foul is going to be on Lauren Cawley. Cawley's had a couple fouls tonight, but has also made some good plays on both the offensive and defensive ends. Logan Lamanzi back at the line. And she makes the first.
Almost a double-double for her, 10 points, 9 rebounds right now. And with 4 seconds left, this could be it. I think you're going to have to try to just throw it off the backboard and get it again. I don't think 5 points in 4 seconds are going to be very favorable for you.
Lamanzi puts it up and it goes in. So a 4-point lead again, but Beverly inbounds to Anderson, and she will be fouled right away with 2.6 seconds remaining. And Lamanzi, if she makes one of these, that's the cherry on top.
Yes.
I don't even think she needs to make one. Not saying try not to make any, but 4 points, that's kind of the barrier with this little time.
And there it is. If it's not the cherry on top, then we'll throw a little strawberry strawberry stuff on there. Some strawberries, maybe a little bit of peanuts if you're not allergic to it. Just whatever we got to throw, a little extra on there. Second one is up and good.
Drains them both.
6-point lead again for the Panthers. And as the clock strikes 0 and concludes this game, the Panthers will improve to 4-7 on the year. Meanwhile, the Peabody Tanners will drop to 7-3. Cody, any finishing thoughts before we head out of here tonight?
Just a great game all around. I think Beverly stuck to their game plan. It worked in that first quarter, and like you were telling us, like that second, third, they normally dip down, but right now they stuck to their game plan. They played aggressive on that press, and they got good shots. And that was it. They just played really solid, really good basketball.
They did, and even when they had some of those doldrums, somebody stepped up. It was usually McCarthy or Sydney. Stepped up, made a huge bucket in order to at least break it, or at least make sure it wasn't so bad that the game started to get away from them. I remember, I believe it was Coughlin made a huge 3 in the second quarter when that was happening. Lindsey Gannon made another one in the third. Those were their only points of the game, but they were at a really crucial time where Sydney and Kylie were starting to go a little bit cold at the same time, and they just weren't getting the points. And that was big to at least keep pace, keep things, whether it was to keep the lead or at least to keep the game within striking distance. And the first quarter, and then late the third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter, Sydney Anderson and Kylie McCarthy showed out. Absolutely. I mean, unofficially here, we're not the official scorekeepers, but I got Sydney down at 19 points. I got Kylie down at 14 points.
And that is going to conclude our broadcast tonight as the Beverly Panthers, in their third game in 3 days, come up with a huge underdog victory here at home against the Peabody Tanners. Final score 44-38 here at the high school gymnasium. For my partners, Cody Shalafou and Dom Lorenzano, I am JJ Sylvia, wishing you a good rest of your night.